Hello everyone, welcome to Bank Holiday Monday here at Rathbone Manor. I just spent half an hour mowing the lawn here. I've left some clover because the bees love it, and today we're going to be looking at this absolute gem from the flea market yesterday. So let's get inside and take a look. We'll also take a look at a few of the other larger footprint wrenches that I have in my collection too. Getting quite a few of them now, but yeah, let's have a look what we got. Let's bring the camera down here. Okay, so I've been collecting footprint wrenches for a number of years now, and I've also managed to find some of the larger models too. I have a 14-inch here, 12-inch here, another 12-inch, and this one here isn't actually a footprint wrench at all. It's one of the nicer copies that I have in my collection. I picked this one up from car boot sale number 2 last year. It was missing its pivot pin, so I've had to make my own. As you can see, a nice one there, slightly larger, size 2. This one isn't marked as footprint, it's marked, as you can see here, 12-inch and foreign. So yeah, this one cost me 50 pence last year from car boot sale number 2. I initially thought when I saw it at a distance it was going to be the 14-inch footprint wrench that I'd been looking for, but I pulled it out and I thought, well, yeah, 12-inch and it's foreign, it'll do very nicely for my collection. How much is it? 50 pence, sir. That'll do, we'll have some of that. Okay then, so yesterday I was at the car boot sale and I picked this little fella up. So let's have a closer look at it, shall we? I got it as part of a collection of tools from one guy who was very reasonably priced, I thought. Each of these tools cost me £1, so the total outlay at his stall was £4 by my maths anyway. In fact, I bought this and this first, and then I went back to him a second time and bought these two little fellows right here. So let's take a look at this little gem of a wrench then. Now, if you watched my car boot sale report yesterday, you'll see that this thing was very, very lightly rusted. And what I've done today, this morning, I've taken a little bit of a Scotch-Brite to it, a damp piece of Scotch-Brite, and I've cleaned all the rust off. And look how wonderful it has come out. This thing is basically unused, I think. It's like NOS. There's no wear on it at all. Let's take a look at the teeth, shall we? As you can see, they look relatively sharp. There might be a little bit of use in here, but they are relatively sharp. This one is the same. Hope you can see that. There we go, it's quite nice and sharp. Look at the pivot pin then, guys. Look how clean this is. Nice and clean, no rust, still intact. As I say, these things very often get lost. It's in very good condition is that, I think. Also, the holes are nice and sharp, as we can see there. No usage to the holes that I can see very much, and they are pretty sharp as well, where they've been stamped out. Look, you can still see it on them. I've got another 9-inch that's like this, that's had very little use at all. Let's have a look at that one. This too I believe to be almost NOS as well. Don't think it's had a great deal of use, if anything at all really. But again, the holes are sharp, as you can see. It's still got the burrs on this one. Look at that. Original pivot pin too, very nice indeed. This came from the car boot sale number 2 last year. Pulled it out of a box. I only wanted £1 for it as well. What a beautiful old wrench. And this 12-inch is likewise. It's got slightly different embossing on the top here on the hook. This one is proud, sticks out, as opposed to being stamped in. Hopefully you can see that there, guys. The stamping here is very crisp. Look at that. It's done very well, that one. But it's just an overall condition. I was speaking to the guy when I first got there, and I picked up that smaller footprint wrench, and he was saying that he's got a 14-inch that's hardly been used. But when I found the 14-inch, it had the pivot pin missing, and it definitely used. I think he got it mistaken for this one here, because this is definitely it's more or less factory fresh. I think it's in lovely condition. In fact, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but the hook here, you can actually see some of the colours, sort of rainbow colours. I don't know if you can actually see that on camera. I've moved over to closer to the window here. You can see that round there. There's a slight rainbow effect going on there. Can you see that? So this has definitely not had a lot of use. If we take a look at the inside, you can actually see how clean and shiny it is in there too. Look, no dirt and filth in there like you get with a lot of them. It's absolutely pristine. Can't quite get the light right, but yeah. Now then, I keep telling myself that I've got enough footprint wrenches, and clones and copies too, like this one. But whenever I find something like this, I'm definitely going to pick it up for my collection, because as I say, this is pristine. This 14-inch has been used, but it's still in very, very, very good condition. As I say, this is an older one, but it's still very nice indeed. This is an old one too. But as you know, I also collect copies, and I have some very nice copies too. So let's have a quick look at those. Okay, we've just been looking at the 4 and 12-inch. You can usually tell because the riveting leaves a bit to be desired. This is another favourite of mine. Bezer, it says there. Bezer or Bezer, the little guy. Riveting is quite appalling on this one. But this one's also stamped with a year on it, 1938 that looks like to me. This is quite a nice little one that. It's still got its own pivot pin, the original pivot pin with it. And then I found these ones here. This one here is from Poland. Perhaps you can see that on the handle. It's quite a nice one, painted red. Got its original pivot pin, which is nice. This is an attempt at improving on the footprint wrench, I think. Got like an I-beam style hook. These two here are from Czechoslovakia. Again, we have the attempted improvement. They're a lot lighter. We've got the I-beam hook here, made in Czechoslovakia on this side just here. This is a 10-inch, because they don't do 9-inch like a footprint. They do a 10-inch or an 8-inch. The jaws on these have been spot welded in position with some pretty hefty spot welds. I think you'll find they're not riveted anyway. Both of them have got their original pivot pins, and I quite liked finding these things. This I bought a few weeks back. This is from a few years ago, as this is from a few years ago. I picked this up a few years ago as well. This was quite rusty when I first got it, as was this fella here. But if I can find these, I will pick them up for my collection of copies. The other thing I like to collect are things like this here. These are a lot rarer, and these are apprentice pieces, or even made at school, in the metalwork class at school, because I vaguely remember we had a projects book when I was in the school, in the metalwork room, where you could make things like this. And as I say, this is either an apprentice piece, because you can see how tightly made it is. It's even got the guy's name on it, very faintly, just here. You might not be able to see that. It was very faintly just there. I got this just before Christmas, 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was Christmas. It was the last boot sale of the year, probably 2019. It was a little bit rusty, so I've polished it all up. So if I can find these things, these handmade ones, apprentice pieces, I will pick them up too. My friend Ben, tool addict, he found this at a boot sale near him, and he asked me if I would like it. Well, duh, of course I want it. Look at it. This has got the guy's name on it who made it too. I've got videos on both of these fellows out there on my channel. You can take a look at those. Okay, so I have no real idea where my obsession with these things comes from, because these are obviously plumbing tools. I don't do plumbing. I'm not a plumber. So why do I collect these things? I don't know. I just like them. I think what it is because they're British made, and they've been making these in England since when? 1873 or 1876, something like that. There, I'll put the proper date down here. But these are still made in England today, which is brilliant, I think. Obviously, they don't make these things anymore. I can't remember when they stopped making these, but it's probably around about 1960 something, I think. 1960, 60 something like that there. But some of them go right back. I mean, this one could go back to about the 30s, between the wars or something like that there. It's quite an old one. You can see it's got the smooth pivot pin there. Another thing that I like to collect are modified footprint wrenches, like this little fellow here. Somebody's modified the end of the hook. We've got a little square key on there now, instead of the usual screwdriver chisel end. As you can see there, look, it's this pointy end. So somebody's modified that. They've also put their initials in there fairly heftily, and also on the hook as well. This one was missing its pivot pin too, so I made a custom pivot pin that I hope that CBWD will be quite proud of. It's quite a nice one, I like that. So yeah, I'll collect these as well if I find modified ones. You'd think a guy would have enough wrenches with the amount of footprint wrenches I've got. The drawer in my toolbox in the workshop is absolutely full of these things. Oops, full of these things. I need another set of drawers now, which I'm looking out for. Another nice quality metal one slot I've got out there, just to carry on the collection. I also have an old plastic toolbox that I got from work. That is full of footprint wrenches. I'll put some pictures up for you to take a look at. But yeah, I'm getting quite a collection of these things now. But yeah, this is an absolute gem from yesterday. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I mean, look at it. Look at the finish. It's more or less factory fresh, I think. Not a bit of wear on it whatsoever. Okay then, everyone. I hope you enjoyed popping over on this bank holiday Monday and taking a look at this little gem here from the car boot sale. It only cost me £1. I can't believe it. Look at the condition it's in. It's lovely. I do like it. As I say, if I see them in this condition, I can't help myself, really. Just got to get them, really. And as I say, I need a new toolbox now to keep them all in. So, yeah, I'm trying to find one of those now. They can be quite pricey, actually. I missed one last year, which I'm still kicking myself about, at the boot sale number 2. The guy wanted 12 quid for it, and that was quite a nice one. That was. I wish I'd have bought it now. Walked past it, saw the price, should have stopped, picked it up and chucked it in the back of the car, really. But you know how things go, and you forget about these things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed popping over and taking a look at the little gem of a wrench here. I like this one, 12-inch for £1. Okay guys, well I hope you have a nice bank holiday Monday here in the UK, and I hope you have a nice Memorial Day, as I believe it is, over there in the States today, and I'll catch you lot later then.